Hello there, everyone, and thanks very much for tuning in to episode 474 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise. You're very, very welcome, whether you're watching the live or you're watching the recording. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do consider doing so. And if you click on the little bell, you should get notifications of new videos coming your way. Okay, so for those of you watching live, this is video 2 of 3 for today. And the first comment goes to, so far only comment, goes to Woozy, who says, "Hi, all. From what you said about noise, previous video, I feel like this brand will be of similar quality given the last time I smelt them at the local Sephora. They are relatively affordable though." Now see, interesting. I am a little bit more taken with this particular brand, a bit more impressed. Anyway, it's the brand in question is called Maison Louis Marie, and I was given this discovery set. They have more scents than just these ones. What's I guess interesting is that they do all of their scents, or I think most of their scents, as alcohol-based EDPs, but also as oils. I haven't tried their oils at all, but I believe they're the same, basically the same scents, but in a different form. This is one of those sorts of heritage brands, and all I know about it is what I've seen for myself on the website. So it says that they're continuing a botanical tradition that started in 1792, which is quite a claim to make. Maison Louis Marie is the result of a long, storied family history with scent, beginning with Louis Marie Aubert de Petit-Thouars, a pioneer in French botanical history. He was exiled to Madagascar, La Réunion, and the Mauritius Islands during the French Revolution, presumably because he was an aristocrat, I don't know. There he discovered a vast array of plant specimens, collecting over 2,000 to bring them back to France 10 years later. Home again at last, he was elected a member of the prestigious Académie des Sciences. Not a fan of this house, says Tracy. Oh, please tell me why. Please tell me why, because so far, a couple of them I've been quite impressed with. 200 years later, Marie du Petit-Thouars grew up in Belgium, playing in her grandfather's nursery while making candles and experimenting with scents in her mother's greenhouse. Years later, Maison Louis Marie was born using the rich botanical history of her family as her inspiration and her guide. Marie has created luxury candles, perfumes, and skincare that focus on illustrious scents imbued with unique floral fragrances. I mean, okay, maybe not unique. Made in harmony with the environment, Marie believes in making every effort to preserve the unique terroir of each fragrance element as it is derived from nature. And then it goes on to say that it's a husband and wife team doing it at the moment. Marie and her husband, Matthew Berkson. Together, they're committed to the business of clean beauty and non-toxic fragrances, as is everybody seemingly at the moment, and so on and so forth. Eric says, I actually tried these a few years ago. They were in every offbeat apothecary I went in. Oh, interesting. I didn't love the scents as perfumes, but one of the candles was so incredible, I bought it a few times. Gosh. Which one? Do tell us. Atale says, isn't the exaggerated history trend getting a bit too stale and obvious? I think if it's genuine, and I guess in this case they're not going to make it up, then I'm happy to go along with it. But at the end, I just think, okay, well, this is a nice bit of background info, but what are your current scents like? Are they going to stand up to it? So I don't intend to go through every single one with you. But I guess the ones that sort of stand out, there is one that is from this discovery set, a clear favorite. In the discovery set, I've got number 2. They all have names as well, so let's not bother with the names at the moment. There's a number 2, a number 4, a number 9, a number 12, a number 13, and then one without a name, without a number. It's called Antidris Cassis. My favorite, so I'll leave that for the end, is number 2. But the other 2 that I thought might be worth smelling, which was number 12, I thought. Was it number 12 that I meant? The gingery one. I thought that was an interesting one. So number 12 is called, is it Bousval or Bouval? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Rachel says, I don't think they mentioned the perfumers behind their scents. Strike me as a lot of professional branding without much real info. Disappointing. Yes, and that's another sort of aspect of it that leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. Save that for when we get to the final video. So number 12, I think what I appreciated about these is that they smelt suitably botanical and naturalistic, at least on the strength of these ones that I tried. They really did feel to me as though they were coming from some sort of a garden somewhere. I mean, some more so than others, but this number 12, the gingery one, um, was very, very, very convincingly gingery. And it really, really reminds me, I think, of a late 80s or early 90s perfume. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it could be something like, Paloma Picasso Minotaur, because ginger, I guess, isn't a million miles away from green apple, and it's got a very sort of bright citrusy note to it. The interplay between the dryness of the ginger, the sort of sourness of the ginger, and the citrus, I thought worked well. Um, I didn't smell these, with reference to the video, the previous video. I didn't smell any of these and think, oh my goodness, this is just a chemical concoction. I'm sure that there are synthetics in there as well, but they've been well used, well employed. Um, what what can we tell you about it? Uh, so I don't know how you pronounce this name, whether it's Bouval or Bousval. They say is named after our mother's hometown. There, she'd walk her 4 collies during warm summer evenings, spending most of her time camping outside, catching fish, picking fresh vegetables at the pond next to her home. Inspired by her enchanted summers, this scent has nuances of Valencia oranges, which are joined with Italian bergamot and bold white cardamom. A signature heart of ginger flower is complemented with eucalyptus and earthy notes of oak moss. Undertones of rich, sultry woods add to misted musk, whatever that is, for a modern aroma. Better than ginger beer by Joe Malone, says Drew, but have I had the pleasure? I can't even remember. Have I blocked it out of my memory? My little sample says my co-worker and I were just talking about this house. She really likes number 4. Interesting. So if you're wanting, this is kind of, it's interesting that Joe Malone has been brought up, because I've said this in relation to a few other brands. This is what I think Joe Malone should be like. I think Joe Malone should be coming across as streamlined and simple and naturalistic, which was the other one that I quite liked, apart from number 2. I think maybe was it number, no, the number 4. I think that was the sandalwoody one. Was that the one where I think number 4 was the one where I thought to myself, again, we need to kind of get away from the whole fig sandalwood combo. But yes, I think it was number 9, because I appreciated the grapefruit note in number 9. So let's have a spray of number 9 here. I have a very, very specific reason for liking the number 2, by the way, so we'll get to that in a moment. So this is number 9, which its name is the Vallée de Farnay, the Farnay Valley. Yeah, and again, I thought the grapefruit note was really nicely done. I wondered for a while if it made me think of original Dior Homme Sport. In the end, I think I decided that it didn't, but it does remind me of something else, and I still haven't been able to put my finger on it. Whether that means that some of these are a little bit derivative, I think we could probably say that as well. But there's a kind of innocence about them that puts me in a in a kind of forgiving frame of mind towards them. And maybe I'm wrong to treat them that way. But it's the grapefruit, the sort of classic grapefruit patchouli vetiver combo. Grapefruit and vetiver have gone together since time immemorial, but it just works. And yes, I think as I'm smelling it now, it's making me think of terre d'Hermès, but it's maybe a less sophisticated, less suave terre. It's like it's adolescent boy terre, or maybe just plucked it fresh out of the garden terre. I think actually, yeah, maybe it is making me think of terre. I mean, grapefruit, patchouli, vetiver is terre after all, isn't it? Why is it named after this valley? Vallée de Farnay is a nature preserve located in the native forests of the Mauritius island. The forest is home to more than 100 plant species and numerous animals, where Louis Marie discovered many plant specimens. Inspired by the wild forest, this scent is a woody mineral fragrance. The top note is a citrus chord of grapefruit, orange, and black pepper, enhanced by cedarwood and patchouli. So the cedarwood is it's fine. It's pleasant. Eric says, I think I found the perfumes a bit uncommitted. 1 or 2 smelt like Le Labo mods. Oh, I don't know. I think I like them a little bit more than you do. But let's get. I just need to relabel this blotter because I'm not gonna. And in terms of longevity, they're fine. They have a kind of eau de toilette slash cologne type feel to them. Although on paper they've lasted fairly well. Now number 2 is called Le Long Fond. So what is that? The long. I don't know what is that. Pardon my French. Um, Wagstaff says, "Do you think maybe he was inspired by a trip to Sephora and Terre rather than a Mauritius forest?" That is very possible. Now, number 2, though, I liked because it made me think in a way few perfumes have made me think of walking into a Japanese incense shop, specifically one of those beautiful shops that are in Kyoto. If you ever, I mean, if chances are, if you ever go to Japan, you are going to go into an incense shop. But for whatever reason, if going into an incense shop was not on your agenda while you're in Japan, make it be very, very high on your agenda, because that is one of the most memorable experiences of being in Japan, particularly if you're in Kyoto. Um, yeah, and so it's got an interesting kind of green, leafy, maybe violet leafy sort of opening, but that kind of burnt fried meat aspect that seems to be so common to a lot of Japanese incense starts coming through. Um, but in a really, really good way. So I don't want you to think that wearing this would make you smell like a steak or like a barbecue, but because it doesn't. But the weirdness of the incense note comes across in the same way that it does when you actually go into a Japanese incense shop. Um, I was quite taken with this, and I found it quite intriguing. What do they say about it? They say, where is it? So this is number 2. The order in which they're presented on their website is bizarre. I don't really understand. And there you go. So what is it meant to mean? Founded by our grandfather, Le L'Enfant is a nursery in Belgium that's still active today. This scent is a savory mixture of hinoki wood accord, underlined by notes of cedarwood and patchouli with a strong amber character. So it's wood, um, with a kind of incensey sort of feel to it. I was taken with this one. I was taken with this one. And I was disappointed that the oils discovery set doesn't have the oil of number 2, because that was my favorite. But I will give the oils a go as well. I don't have a temple incense, so I'm interested, says Tracy. Yeah, you should try it out. You should check it out. Okay, so not a brand that is about to reinvent the wheel anytime soon, but considering it's definitely in the sort of affordable range, kind of, although their bottles tend to be quite small. Considering that they do have a naturalistic, suitably sort of botanical, real smelling feel to them, and they don't come across as overly synthetic. I think I'm inclined to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt at the moment and give them a thumbs up rather than a sort of neutral. But each to their own. Do check them out. Rachel says, "I wish I knew the story between the founders and the perfumers. Their dialogue about the scents. The brand feels a bit like plug and play oil house stuff. Could be, but they've gone for very, very pleasant ones. But if it smells good, there must be more. You would have thought so, but who knows?" Okay. Thank you very much for watching this really, really whistle-stop quick tour through Maison Louis Marie. We're going to come back with something that is likely going to be more controversial. Okay, see you in a bit. Thanks for watching this one. Bye now.